Hi everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and welcome to Soft Flow. This is a 60-minute gentle yoga practice. So glad that you're here. So we are so ready to get into our yoga practice, and this is what we're going to focus on today. There's a specific pose that's called wide-legged forward fold. We're going to do a variation of that, and it's a great posture because we get a nice stretch in the legs throughout the whole entire leg, front, side, and back. And we'll do it seated, and we'll also do it standing. We're going to be using some props to help us along with that particular pose as our featured posture. As always, we like to have a nice soft blanket to sit on and or to kneel on, so make sure you have something soft like that. It could also be a pillow. Then you may want to have a yoga strap. You don't have to have a yoga strap for this particular practice. It may come in handy. It could even be a jump rope or another type of belt or even a necktie. So that can come in handy if you happen to have something like that. A couple of yoga blocks, which I have right here. Something stackable. Now, if you do have something stackable, that's great. It could be several books. It can even be like 4 dictionaries, but something that you can stack like this. Now, if you don't have blocks handy, but you happen to have like a table or a chair, you can see I have my chair just over here to the side here, just the seat of a chair or at the top of a chair like that, that too can help us with our practice. So that's why I have the chair in view right there. And then lastly, just a cushion or pillow. Again, you don't have to have this, but this might come in handy if you like for your Shavasana practice when we're lying down at the end of our class. So just something to help you fully relax. I think that is it. Let's go ahead and begin. We like to begin, of course, in seated. I'm sitting on my nice soft blanket. I like to cross my legs. You don't have to cross your legs. I'm in a half lotus pose. You can just be an easy pose. If you want, you can already begin to extend your legs if that feels a little bit more comfortable for you. If you need more back support, you might sit up against a wall or go ahead and bring in that chair and just sit in a chair for this first portion of your class. Once you've found your comfortable seat, you might take a few deep breaths. You can breathe in deeply through your nose. You can exhale through your nose or even out through your mouth. Nice soft sigh to go along with that. Do that several more times on your own. Just several deep breaths just to tune into your breathing, to make this connection with your breath, and begin this journey inward. And once you've made this reacquaintance with your breath, just continue with slow, steady breaths in and out. You're welcome to remain or keep your eyes opened. We can also close your eyes if you'd like. Finding stillness in your body. Taking this opportunity to feel what's happening inside of you. Notice the sound of your breath. Experience the sensation of your breath as you breathe in and out. Just to bring a little bit more awareness to your breath. When you inhale, just feel the breath rising upward. Imagine that it lives in your stomach. Then you want to inhale and let it rise all the way up to fill up your lungs. Getting that nice expansive quality in the upper chest. Then when you exhale, as you're able, draw your navel inward towards your spine, just engaging your stomach muscles or your abdominal muscles. Doesn't have to be too strong, just an awareness of your center. So again, an inhale to feel tall and lengthen in your spine in your seat, breath rising to fill up your lungs, and your exhale to draw belly in, nice connection. Do that a few more times. Just bringing more awareness to the breath and how your body is responding to your breath. And then go ahead and take 3 more breaths in and out. And then we'll proceed with some very simple movement. As you inhale, extend your arms out across the room. A nice stretch feeling. Reach out and then all the way up, reaching for the ceiling. Then as you exhale, extend your arms out, down by your side, all the way down, completing the full breath. And then repeat that. Inhale, reaching out, all the way up. A little lifting feeling there. Exhale, extend and reach, finding the walls on either side of you. Completing the breath, bringing the arms back down. Now go ahead and continue breathing and moving at your own pace. Just following the pace of your breath. It might be slower than me, might be a little faster than me. But just an awareness of the slow motion, reaching all the way up. That nice lengthening through your arms and even down through the sides of your body. Energy in your hands and fingers as you reach up and then all the way out to the sides of the room as they make their way down. Go ahead and complete the breath that you're on right now and then take 2 more breaths after that. Go at your own pace. And whenever you're complete, you can just bring your arms back down by your side and just come back to full relaxation. After the shoulders have been in motion, just notice that shift, that change from being in motion, returning to stillness. Even give them a little roll or a little shake here so they can fully relax. If you happen to be sitting in a chair, you might want to come down to the ground. When you're ready, just bring your hands behind you. I like to prop up onto my fingertips. That way my arm stays very straight. There's no aggravation in the wrist. You could place the palm on the floor, but you can see it puts a little bend there. That puts a force flex in the wrist. But if you want to keep that a little bit more natural, something like this, just up onto fingertips. So hands behind you. Roll your shoulders back gently, and then tip your chin up a little bit. We're just creating a little bit more space in the upper body, upper torso. Now from here, inhale, just press into the ground with some firmness with your fingertips. Feel the energy in your arms. Inhale to allow the breath to rise to fill up your lungs. Feel that expansiveness, that stretch across the chest from shoulder to shoulder. Then as you exhale, stay here, but bring or draw navel inward toward your spine, just lightly. And let's continue. Inhaling as you press hands into the floor or fingertips into the ground, energy in the arms, breath rising, fill up your lungs. Exhaling, navel to spine. And another added sensation, squeezing shoulder blades together behind you just a bit. And then as you still breathe in and out, just be aware of these great sensations in the body. Hands, fingers, arms, shoulders, the neck, opened chest. Take 2 more breaths. Whenever we move into poses, it's a nice opportunity to become very aware of the body, what's happening within the body. Go ahead and lower your chin so you're looking directly forward. You can walk your hands toward yourself so you can sit up nice and tall. And then just bring your hands to your lap, again feeling the arms and shoulders relax after being in that energized position. Take a moment in stillness, find your breath. I like to consider that a mild back bend. Now we'll take a forward fold. Here, if your legs are crossed, let's go ahead and uncross the legs and place the soles of the feet together. This is cobbler's pose or bound angle pose. And as we fold in a moment, we'll start to feel a stretch in the inner thighs. Now the legs don't have to touch the ground. The knees here, they do not have to touch the ground. This is where you might want to use a couple of books or blocks or even some small soft pillows and just tuck them underneath so your legs can relax right here. Then hold on to your ankles or shins and inhale to sit up as tall as can be. Just imagine you're up against a wall or in your straight back chair. Once you've inhaled, filling up the lungs, exhale, draw belly in and moving slowly, hinging at the hips, leading forward with your heart and chin just a tiny bit. Pause, check in, notice how you feel at this moment. You may not feel a whole lot, and that's okay. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, draw belly in and hinge forward a tiny bit more. We're just going to the place where you start to feel some sensation. not an overwhelming sense of feeling here in the body. That way we can work at our 60%, which is what we like to do in soft flow, where we can hold the pose for a relatively long period of time without feeling stressed or strained, deepening our breaths, remaining relaxed throughout the pose and full practice, but still getting a little stretch that we want. So if you're still not feeling something, maybe you want to hinge forward a tiny bit more. At first you may move with the extended spine, but feel free eventually to round your back, even lower your chin, which may even allow you to go a little deeper without stressing out the body too much. And we'll hold here for several breaths. When we were in our mild back bend with the chin tipped up and heart opened, we were breathing into the lungs and heart space, kind of the front side of the body. Now in this forward fold, perhaps you're able to breathe into your back body. Imagine filling up your lungs, but from the back side. Here you might even feel your upper back expand, just as you would expand your front body, your chest or lungs. But now think of it from the back side. Just take 2 more breaths in our forward fold. Notice if your back is rounded, and if the chin is lowered, to come out of the pose, just lift your chin a little bit. Just look out in front of you, perhaps towards the front edge of your mat to help re-extend your spine. To make your way back up, you can place your hands on the floor, press to help lift yourself back up until you're nice and tall. Even feel like you're continuing to shoot straight up to get that lengthened spine. Hold for a moment. There. All right, let's go ahead and remove our blocks or books out from underneath the knees, set those to the side. Then take your time. We're just going to make our way to hands and knees. This is where your blanket can come in handy. I like to unfold mine out to a rectangle so I can place my hands and knees here on the soft cushion. Meet me here in this tabletop and we'll move into cat and cow pose. So we'll inhale, look up or forward, a little arch in the back. It's a bit of a back bend feel. This doesn't have to be too dramatic. Exhale, round it out. So belly button pulls up towards spine, chin to chest, and there's that rounding of the upper back again. And then just continue. Inhale, feel the pelvis tip back, which allows the belly to drop. Creates that back bend feel. Open the chest, look forward. Exhale, round it out. So it's just these 2 motions, a nice fluid sensation through the back, your whole torso. When we look up and forward, creating that back bend, that's cow pose. When we round it all out, that's our cat pose. Do that a few more times. Going at your own pace. Good undulation of the spine. Even feel that rocking or tilting sensation in the pelvis. This is a very simple movement, but quite effective in regards to kind of giving yourself a little massage through your back and hips. Finish the breath at your on, take 2 more. We'll finish together in a tabletop position in stillness. Look directly down so your neck is neutral. Take a breath. Alrighty, go ahead and take a moment. Let's do this. We're going to do a modified hero pose. Maybe tuck your toes behind you. Use your hands and kind of sit back just to a place where there's less pressure on your hands, that you can even lift your hands off the floor. So we're not putting too much pressure back here on the knees or ankles or toes, but just finding that balance. You can get the hands off the floor and maybe even give them a little extra stretch, a counter stretch, by pressing lightly into the ground, onto your blanket here, the back of the hand. Since in our tabletop position, we got that forced flexed position in the hand. Alrighty? So maybe do that on both hands. Alrighty. Then we'll crawl off of our pad. Let's set that to the side. We'll certainly use that again later. Come back to hands and knees. We'll get set up for our next pose. So our tabletop posture, let's step the hands forward. As you step the hands forward, spread out your fingers pretty wide. Get a stretch between each finger. There we are. Press palms into the mat to flatten and stretch out the palms. With that press, feeling energy in the straight, strong arms. Once again, tuck your toes. Take another cat and cow pose. So inhale, look up or forward for cow, the back bend. Exhale, round it into cat. Hold cat, rounded spine. Then lifting knees, then hips up into the air, sending hips into the sky. You'll be in this inverted V shape. This is downward facing dog. Feel free to adjust your feet if you need to on your mat, even your hands, so that you feel pretty secure in this upside down position. Arms are strong and straight. Knees are bent. Now, look at the space underneath you or up towards your hands a little bit. Just be aware of that movement in the neck. Walk forward with the feet here until the feet are directly underneath you, flat on the ground until you're in a forward fold. We'll inhale, slide hands up the legs as high as you like, maybe to knees or thighs, to extend your spine so you're flat like a table. We're going to hold here. Keep breathing. Keep a good bend in the knees. That way the muscles of the thighs and hamstrings stay engaged. This is really a good setup for our wide leg forward bend pose that we'll be doing in our practice today. But here, feel flat like a table. There's an energy of your hips and tailbone moving to the back of the room, and an energy moving through the crown of your head or the top of your head moving forward. From here, shift your weight back into your heels just a bit. Bend your knees, let your hips lower or go down a bit as if you're sitting down into a low chair. Look forward or slightly up. Spread your wings. Take your arms out to the side. Stand up nice and tall. Reach up into the sky. Treat this like a big stretch. Yes, exhale. Let's bring the arms down by your side. Let's hold that for a moment. Feel free to circle the wrists. Again, just getting any pressure out of the wrists. Maybe wiggle your fingers along with that. I like to kind of throw in the elbows, just do a little circle here with the elbows, just getting into our joints a little bit. And then a circle of the shoulders. Feel free to roll them backward and then forward. Good. All right, let's do our forward fold and come right back up, our half salute to the sun. Just getting a little bit more movement in the body. Okay, let's find our mountain pose, looking directly forward, shoulders slightly back, heart opened. Here we go. Inhale, reach all the way up. Feel free to tip eyes up or look up. Exhale, spread your wings, bend your knees, and fold forward, hinging at the hips. Take your time. Maybe you can go low enough to touch the ground, but you don't have to. Maybe your hands land at your shins or ankles. Inhale, slide the hands up the legs to extend your spine, long, flat back. Again, we'll hold here on the exhale. When you exhale as best as you can, feel your belly button pull up towards spine to engage your core system. A little shift of weight into the heels. Bend your knees, feel like you're sitting down. Look forward, spread your wings, then inhale. Stand up tall, reaching high up into the sky. Exhale, sweep your arms out and down by your side. Wonderful. If you want to, you can give the arms and fingers and wrists a little shake there. Let's do our modified warrior one. Now I've got my chair here, and I might actually use this since I've got the back of the chair right here. Excuse me, I need to cough. Excuse me, there we go. All right, so nice and tall. Let's go ahead and put a soft bend in the knees. Start shifting your weight over into right foot, keeping the knees soft here. Lean forward if you need a little extra balance. Maybe the chair here or a table, a wall, perfect to use. And then just start stepping this left foot back. It doesn't have to step back too far. Nice flexed foot back there. You can see a lot of energy is still coming forward. We're going to find balance by turning this left heel to the floor. Just shift and just kind of plant yourself. I call this the pocket. So you should feel pretty steady right here. Now place your hands on your hips. Imagine you're pushing your pelvis down. As you do that, feel tall and lengthened through your torso. That should give you space in your belt line, and then just turn to face forward. Inhale, extend both arms up into the air. When you exhale, bend your elbows significantly. I put a good bend here like this. So this is our variation of warrior one. Arms are up, but we have a nice elbow bend, and there's distance between the feet, but not too far in our lunge. Let's go ahead and inhale and straighten the arms all the way up. Exhale, bring the arms down. Place hands on hips. Lean forward. Now you can keep hands on hips, or if you happen to have something out in front of you for support, go ahead and use that. And then just step left foot up to meet the right foot. Then we'll stand up tall, sweep both arms up into the air, reach high. Exhale, arms can return down by your side. So that's our Warrior One variation flow. Let's do the other side. So again, put a softness in the knees. Keep that knee bend. Start shifting weight into left foot. For that strong connection, everything should fire up on this side. Lean forward, use support if you need it. Start stepping right foot back, not very far at all. Flexed foot, so I'm just on the balls of the foot, heel lifted. Right heel turns, plant, sit right into that pocket. Place hands on hips, push pelvis down as you feel tall in the torso, lengthen spine, and then turn towards the front. You don't have to go all the way to the front. Just notice where you naturally stop, but mostly facing forward. Inhale, reach up high, and you exhale to bend elbows. And so we have a nice modified Warrior One. Again, a nice relaxed style of the pose. And you probably will just check in with yourself. I know that I can probably hold this much longer than I could a regular Warrior One. And of course, we will be doing a Warrior One second version soon. Let's go ahead and inhale, shoot the arms straight up. Exhale, bring the arms down. You can bring the hands to hips. Let's lean forward. Use that support if you've got it. Step right foot forward to meet the left. Then we'll inhale, stand up tall, take both arms up into the air. Reach and stretch. Exhale, arms back down by your side. Very well done. Okay, let's come back to mountain pose. I'm going to move my chair forward a little bit so it's out of my way. Mountain pose. Let's go through a nice sequence. We'll take our time, breaking it down. Inhale, take arms up. Either look forward or look up if that feels okay on your neck. Exhale, spread your wings. Bend your knees, hinge at the hips, fold forward slowly. Take your time. Maybe hands land at your shins, ankles, maybe your toes. Inhale, slide up halfway, that tabletop posture like we did earlier. Exhale, bend your knees a whole lot. Let your back round, let your head lowered until you're in a forward fold. But bend the knees more so you can bring your hands to the ground out in front of you and start walking or stepping both of your feet back to the back end of your mat until you're in plank pose, a high push-up position like this. We'll breathe in just to bring energy to the body. Exhale, bend knees slightly, then send hips up into the air, downward facing dog. Once the hips are nice and high, feel free to adjust your feet and your hands. Remember to press firmly into the ground with your hands to energize your arms, shoulders, and back. Keep a slight bend in the knees. Lift your hips up a little higher. Let's continue with a lunge. Here comes our Warrior One second variation. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. It doesn't have to lift high, just long. Reach through your toes. Exhale, bend this right knee. Bring it in underneath you towards your chest or chin. Your upper body will shift forward until your shoulders are roughly stacked over your wrist. Then just set the right foot down. This is just a variation of stepping through. Set your left knee onto the floor. Go back with your right hand, pick up your right foot literally, and pick it up and place it up at the top of the mat. Do this if you aren't able to step all the way up to the top of the mat. Relift left knee, we're in our lunge. Pivot, left heel to the ground behind you. Shifting weight back a little bit so you can feel extra pressure in that back foot. All right, so now we've got more distance between the feet. We need to extend the spine. So extend your torso out over right thigh. Sweep your arms out to the side. Hinge from hips. Rise up, face forward, reaching both arms up into the air. Exhale, lunge a little deeper. Now this is our second version. More distance between the feet. Straighter arms up into the sky. Let's go ahead and inhale, reach up. Now on the exhale, turn your torso towards the left side of the room. Bring your arms down to parallel. You'll be in Warrior Two. Let's hold here for a moment. Just check in with the posture. Even look around. Look down at your feet. Check in with your right knee and right foot. Are they pointing forward? So you have a nice alignment here and a good opening in the right inner thigh. We're going to change this to triangle pose. So triangle, we're going to straighten this right leg. Straighten it. And as you straighten it, just feel this energy just kind of rise up through the right side of your body. You want to feel like your torso, your whole upper body is lifted. Now those arms are still extended. Let's reach out like this, reaching out over the right leg to angle the upper half of the body. You don't have to go too far. Rotate your arms like this. So right hand will come down. Mine just kind of naturally comes right at the knee. Yours might be at thigh, knee, it could be at shin, or even down at your ankle. Down at the ankle might be too low. Remember, we're working at 60%, so feel free to back it up, even if you can touch your toes. Think about what would 60% be for you? Or could you hold the pose for a long time? All right, this is a nice hamstring stretch. This is a prep for our wide leg forward bend poses. To come out of this posture, stay sideways, stay bent over like this, but you're going to bend the right knee. Nice lunge. Come back up to warrior two. Just go ahead and bring this left hand down while the right hand reaches up into the air. Even look up at the hand. Then we're going to do a big windmill or like a cartwheel with the arms, bringing both arms to the front. Lower yourself down to the ground, both hands. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. So we're in a runner's lunge. Pressure into the ground with the hands, strong arms, so you can slide the right foot back to meet the other, plank pose. Okay, let's rest. Bring the knees to the floor, tuck toes here, sit back a bit. Now if you can't come all the way to hero, that's fine. This is 100%. So maybe 60% is tuck toes, just back enough where you have some balance and you can easily take the hands off the ground. Okay? You can even bring in blocks, something like this if you just need a little extra stability here. Okay? And rather than maybe doing forced flexes like this, maybe you've got books or blocks and I can keep the wrist a little bit more neutral. This is just if you need a little extra support. All right, we're going to get ready for the other side. I just wanted to give you a little break for the shoulders, arms, and wrists. Then come back out to your tabletop posture. Keep your toes tucked. Lift knees and hips, downward facing dog. Make up adjustments. Ready to flow. Take your time. Let's inhale, extend left leg up into the air. Just reach back, strong and straight. Exhale, bend left knee. Bring left knee in underneath you towards chest or chin. Stacking shoulders over wrist. Now if you can, the left foot can come all the way up to the left wrist. But if it can't, just set the left foot down. Set the right knee down. Literally go get the left foot and just place it up a little higher on the mat. Relift right knee, pivot right heel to the floor. Remember to shift the weight back into that back foot so there's some balance, energy, and both feet feel equal. Elongated torso out over left thigh. This is your setup. Then inhale to hinge from hips, rise up, look forward, reach both arms up into the air. Exhale, bend that left knee a little bit more, lunging a little deeper. Check in with the sensations. Strong straight arms up into the air. Wider stance means maybe more sensation in that right hip flexor. Let's inhale, reach high. Exhale, turn torso towards the right side of the room. Bring arms down to parallel. All right, let's check in with distance between the feet. Alignment, left knee and toes pointing directly forward as best as you can. Nice straight right leg, feet planted into the ground. Let's set it up for triangle. We're going to straighten the left leg. Remember, when you straighten the leg, feel like there's an energy moving up the leg, past the belt line, up through the torso. So you feel very tall here, making space in the belt line so we can reach out over left leg a little bit, rotate arms. Again, left hand might come to thigh, knee, or shin. Remember to work at 60%. Once you're in your pose, settle in. Notice the sensations arising in the body. Modify if you need to. And of course, pay attention to your breath. Nice hamstring stretch. 2 more breaths. We'll keep the arms rotated as they are as we come out of the pose. We'll do that by bending the left knee into a nice deep lunge. It gives us nice leverage so we can come back up through a warrior two to reverse the warrior. So the right hand can come down and just rest it lightly on that back leg while your left hand reaches into the air. And if it feels okay in your neck, look up. Then our big cartwheel or windmill with the arms. Reach forward and then fold, bringing hands down to the ground. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Hold for the runner's lunge. Press hands firmly into the ground to strengthen the arms. Slide left foot back. There's our plank. Right there. Hold briefly. Let's go ahead and bring knees to the floor. Sit back. We are going to sit down. We're not going to hero. Just go ahead and slide off the heels. So you're sitting on the ground so you can swing the legs around to the front. Alrighty? Now I'm going to adjust my mat and I'm going to face you. I'm going to get my blanket to sit on, and here's where you might want to use a strap. Okay? So once you're situated here, you're going to take your legs wide. Okay? Now this could be wide for you. It doesn't have to be too wide. I'm going to go a little wider for me. I need to adjust myself here. Okay? But still working at 60%. You don't want to feel too uncomfortable here. Okay? Go ahead and flex the feet just so the legs stay energized. Okay? All we're going to do is, first we're just going to our kind of this V shape with the legs. Just going to hold that for a moment. We're going to change this. When we get into our wide-legged forward fold, the standing version of this, the legs will stay like this. But for the seated version, we're going to do it one leg at a time, meaning I'm going to mirror you. So we're going to bend the right knee and just bring the heel in like this so we can pay attention to the extended left leg. Here is where you might want to use your strap. Again, an option. So I'll use the strap on this side, and the other side I won't use the strap. So I'll just wrap the strap around my flexed foot out there, hold on to it with one or two hands. When I hold on to it, I can actually help myself to sit up a little taller. And you do want to be tall enough, so again, you have that space in the waistline, so you can kind of turn a little bit towards that extended leg. It doesn't have to be exactly that angle, but just in that general direction, okay? I'm going to hold on to the strap with both hands. I'm going to inhale, get even taller. Exhale, again, leading with heart and chin, coming forward. A little tug of the strap will help. Again, not needing to go very far. Just enough where, okay, now I'm feeling something in my hamstring, and that's plenty. I'm not forcing it. I do feel something. My body is responding. It doesn't feel like it's overreacting, and that's something we are staying away from, is allowing the body to overreact. Because sometimes, whether we know it or not, that could be the constant state of our bodies and our minds, that overreaction. And so yoga, especially a class like this, can really reprogram us and teach us and help us to remember it's okay to slow down. All right, how about 2 more breaths here? All right, let's come back up. I'm going to go ahead and release the strap. Let's go ahead and match the bent knee by bending the left knee and just come to cobbler's pose for a moment, just creating a little balance in the legs. You don't have to do anything special, just hold here for a moment. That's it, and then we'll go ahead and extend the other leg. Now I won't use the strap for this side. Okay? But the same thing, I'm just going to use my hands. I'm going to flex that extended foot, or the foot of the extended leg, using hands maybe on the floor, just somewhere I can feel like I can feel tall and really lifted, again, creating that space in the belt line so I can turn a little bit towards that extended leg. I'm going to inhale and feel even taller. Exhale, still hinging forward, leading with heart and chin out towards this leg. I'm just using the hands on the ground just to help support my body. All right, so I feel supported, just with hands on the ground. If you can go lower, you certainly can go lower. If you can reach out, touch the toes, alrighty, certainly welcome to do that. Remember what your 60% is today. Do you feel like you can hold this and feel good and not feel strained or get overly tired or overwhelmed? In many ways, we would like our yoga postures, whatever pose it is, even if it's really challenging, that we can meditate in it, that we can hold it and feel good and ultimately relaxed. Let's take 3 more breaths on this side. And when you're ready, just using hands pressing into the floor to help you sit up nice and tall, we'll face forward. Let's go ahead and come back to the matched legs here in cobbler's pose for a few breaths, just to even things out. Very good. All right, we need to get set up for the standing version of this. So I'm just going to make my way onto my mat like this. Let's see. I want to move my blanket slightly out of the way. And what I'm going to do is actually place I'm going to put my stacked blocks over on my left side, and actually I'm going to use my big cushion on my right side. So if you've got some books, maybe place a stack of books on one side, another stack on the other side, or if you don't have that many, just one on each side. Just have something on either side of your mat, that's all. All right, and once you've got that, come to hands and knees, tuck toes, lift knees and hips, downward facing dog. Just hold briefly. Let's go into a lunge sequence. Here you'll inhale, lift right foot, extend the right leg, reach long, maybe reach high if you can, but not necessary. Exhale, bend right knee, bring it in underneath you towards chest or chin, shifting forward. Maybe foot comes up to the hand, or use that exercise we did earlier to help pick up the foot and place it there. Once you're there, place left foot on the ground, left heel on the ground, shifting the weight back so you're balanced. Extend torso out over right thigh. Inhale, rise up. We'll be in Warrior 1. Our exhale to open up to a Warrior 2. I'm going to take my feet out a little wider. Let's go ahead and extend the right leg straight as can be. Remember that same energy rising up the thigh, past the belt line, up the torso. Feel very tall. Keep that tall feeling. Turn your right foot in the same direction as your left foot. I call this a star shape. All right, so we're facing sideways, and maybe you've got that block or books in front of you there. Follow me. We're going to inhale, reach out with the arms, feel tall. When you exhale, pull belly in slightly, bend the knees significantly there, and then hinge at the hips, folding. Bring hands down, and maybe just catch the blocks right here. And then just finish your fold using that support of the blocks or stacked books, or the side of the seat of a chair. We're going to inhale, extend spine. Just feel like your crown is moving directly forward towards the left side of the room. Exhale, refold. We're going to hold this. Now in this fold, just start to pay attention to the legs and your feet. Starting with the feet, just check in. Do the feet feel too far apart? If that's the case, bring them in closer. If they're too close and you want to take them wider, just take them slightly wider. Pay attention to your legs. Do keep a slight bend, or actually a good bend in the knees. That's going to help you to fold a little deeper and maybe not put too much strain on your back. You've got the hands on your props here, or even on the floor if you happen to be low enough. And just breathe. Using the balance of the hands on the floor or your props, just lean forward a little bit towards your toes, just a little bit. You might even feel the toes grip your mat. And as you're able, feel like your hips are lifting up towards the ceiling. Notice what's happening in the legs. Like I said, a wide-legged fold really affects the entire leg. Hamstrings, calves, inside of the legs as well as the outside of the legs. Okay. Shift the weight back so you're balanced on 2 feet. Inhale, rise up to extend the spine. Maybe you're rising up to your hands or fingertips here, straight arms. Hold here. Bend the knees a whole lot more, shifting weight into the heels. Almost feel like you're going to sit down into a chair. Even imagine you're a football player and you're in the huddle. If you can, extend your arms out to the side like this, parallel to the floor. Drive heels into the floor. Stand up. Reach up. Go ahead and take the arms all the way up into the air to lengthen the torso, and then bring your arms back down to parallel, returning to your star shape. Soften the legs again. Turn the right foot forward. Lunge into Warrior 2. Let's reverse the Warrior. Take the right hand up. Left hand just rest lightly for a second on that back leg. Reaching up into the air, look up. Then we're going to do our cartwheel or windmill, bringing the hands down to the floor. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Press hands firmly into the ground. Slide right foot back, plank. We'll do the other side. Bend knees, lift hips up into the air, downward facing dog. We're going to get ready to do the other side. When you're ready, inhale, extend left leg into the air, reach. Exhale, bend the left knee, bring it in underneath you towards chest or chin. If you can step all the way up near left hand, do that or do the other exercise to get you there. Once landed, turn right heel to the floor, shifting weight back to find that balance. Extend your torso long and straight out over left thigh. Hinge from hips, inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, opening warrior two. Hold warrior two for a moment, make some adjustments. Then we'll straighten the left leg, straight as can be. Remember the energy sliding up the body, get very tall in the torso. Then turn the left foot so it's facing the same direction as your right foot. Here's our star shape. We're going to inhale, reach long with the arms, feel tall. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees a whole lot, and then slowly fold, using the bent knees to help support your body as you fold. Let the hands come down. I've got my cushion on this side. Maybe got your blocks or books or the seat of a chair. You're going to inhale, re-extend arms, extending spine. Then exhale, fold again. Make sure you keep that good bend in the knees. Lower your way down comfortably. Now you don't have to go down too far. I'm going to break my pose for a moment. Bring my chair in just to give you a quick example of how else this could be or look. So maybe a wide stance. It doesn't have to be too wide, and your fold is here with some maybe a bend in the elbows to help you lower. So this could certainly be your posture. This could be a wall, a table, the seat of a chair, or the back of a chair. Okay, so lots of nice variations. Again, shifting weight towards toes, gripping the mat with the toes so you can feel some energy in the hips. Feel like your hips are lifting up towards the ceiling. Notice what's happening in the legs. Do you feel something? Hamstrings come to life, calves, and then, of course, the inside of the legs and the outside of the legs. It may feel subtle, and it is subtle, but very effective. Two more breaths. Then we'll inhale, straighten the arms, lift a little bit to help extend spine so you can hold right there. Shifting the weight back into the heels. Bend your knees, feel like you're sitting down. It should shift the weight so you feel a bit more balanced. Less weight should be in your hands, hopefully. If you can, extend your arms out to the side parallel to the floor. Drive the heels into the ground to help you stand up tall. Go ahead and take both arms up into the sky. Reach high. Exhale, arms come back down to parallel to the floor, back to our star shape. And we'll turn left foot forward, lunging into our warrior two position. Ready to reverse the warrior, left hand reaching into the air, right hand just coming down for a moment, maybe looking up. We'll windmill. Bring the hands down in front onto the ground. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Good pressure into the hands to strengthen the arms. So you can shift that energy so the left foot can slide back. Plank pose. See if we can hold here for a couple more seconds for good strength building. And then we'll rest. Bring the knees to the floor. Stay there briefly. Take the knees wide. And then sit back into child's pose. Here's another thing you could do if you happen to have a bolster like this, is to place it between the knees here. And you can actually rest the whole body right on top. If you don't have a cushion or a pillow to do this, maybe just bring in a block or a pillow to place underneath your forehead. Soften the body, which allows you to soften your mind. Even a nice check-in with yourself here. Hopefully, so far, 45 minutes into the practice, you still feel pretty relaxed and at ease. And that's certainly our intention. Let's go ahead and take 3 more breaths. in child's pose. Take your time when you're ready to move out of this comfortable position. You just use your hands and help just lift yourself up. Just move the prop out of the way. Sit off to one side. Let's swing the legs around to the front here. Sit in the center of your mat. Before you lie down, be sure you've got your books or blocks here so you can easily grab them. And then go ahead and lie down, and once you're down on the ground, keep the knees bent and just place the feet on the floor. Let your body just melt into the ground. Feel really relaxed here. Take a few breaths, nice deep cleansing breaths, just to help the body find that relaxed state. We'll be moving into bridge pose. It's a supported bridge pose. That's why we need the blocks. Be sure you can still grab them. Whenever you're ready, no rush, you can inhale, fill up your lungs. Exhale completely, and with that exhale, lift hips up into the air. Slide your blocks or books underneath you to sit on. Just sit on the blocks, find that comfortable spot, and just settle in. I like to adjust my feet. I like to take mine a little bit wider here, just for my back and hips. That feels good. Adjusting my upper body. So you can just literally just lie here. A nice sense of relaxation. We're going to do several things in this elevated posture. And if you need to change the elevation, you're certainly welcome to do so. I'm on 2 blocks. My blocks aren't that thick, and so I can easily sit up high on the 2 blocks. If you need to remove one, you can do that. Or if you don't feel comfortable here at this moment, and rather not be elevated, you can certainly remove those props and just lie on the floor. All right, here's our first movement. First, we're going to bring the legs together. So maybe the feet come close together, legs come close together. And then come to cobbler's pose, basically. Just let the soles of the feet touch as the legs open side to side. Now, I'm already noticing, because of the hip height, I feel a pretty significant stretch in the inner thighs. So I know I'm not going to hold this very long because I feel like it's a stressor. What I also could do is actually remove one of the blocks, come down a little lower, and I'll decrease that stretch. Actually, that feels much better for me. Okay, so we're not going to, if you don't want to hold that pose too long because of that significant stretch, no worries. Maybe one more breath in and out in our elevated reclining cobbler's pose. Then bring the knees back up together, plant the feet into the ground, and then we'll extend one leg. Go ahead and extend the right leg up into the air. Again, do this elevated on your block if you can, but you're welcome to come down off of that block first. Then extend the leg straight up, just the one leg. It can be absolutely straight, flexing the foot just to keep the leg strong and energized. You certainly can bend the knee here. If you want, you can even lasso your foot with a strap to get a little extra stretch in the hamstring if you want. I'm just going to keep mine just like this and just hold on to the leg in the air using my hands. A couple more breaths, just 2 more. And then you can bend your right knee, bring the foot back down, pause for a moment before you do the other side. And again, these can be done elevated or while sitting on the ground. When you're ready, let's go ahead and do the left leg extension. I'm starting with the fully extended leg that feels just fine. I know I'm not going to hold that for the entire time. Just initially, and even holding the leg up using my hands. And I'm going to soften that up a little bit so it doesn't feel too strained. And just continue with slow, deep breathing. Funny as it sounds, even this feels comfortable. So notice, once again, even when we're doing some awkward or different poses, even some challenging poses, can you get to the place where it feels good? It feels, you feel like you're at ease. Let's take 3 more breaths. And when you're ready, let's just go ahead and bring this foot back down to the floor. Pause for a moment. Feel the feet settle into the ground. Even take the feet a little wider if you need to. If you're still elevated, press feet into the ground, lifting your hips so you can remove your props. Come back down. When you're ready, hug both knees into chest. What I like to do here is just add some movement. You can just hold still with the knees hugging in gently, or add some movement here. Rocking left and right, circles, forward and back a little bit. Even draw a figure 8. Can you do that? Kind of draw a figure 8. And since the feet are free right here, maybe circle the ankles, wiggle your toes, flex the feet, point, flex, point. Because there was a lot of leg support, a lot of foot support, especially in those wide-legged forward bends. Just being on our feet, even balancing a little bit on one foot. Briefly in some of our postures. So just provide that relief. And then just hold still for a moment with the knees hugging in gently. We'll take a spinal twist. We'll start by taking the knees over to the left side. Extend your right arm off to the right side. This too can be modified and supported if you need it. A rolled up towel or blanket, or use your blocks. If the legs don't reach the floor, or if you feel a bit of a strain in the low back in this twist, then you may want to prop something underneath the left leg. I'm using one of my blocks, and the other block I'm just going to place actually between the knees. And this feels much more comfortable. Yes, right there. Feels just right for me today. And that's important to notice how you feel in this moment. Because maybe yesterday you could have brought both knees all the way down to the ground with no problem. Maybe today, a little soreness, a little tight, a little stressed. So modify accordingly. Listen to your body. Three more breaths. Even after 3 breaths, you're welcome to stay there a little longer if you'd like. When you do feel complete with the one side, carefully come back to center. Maybe hug both knees into chest. Maybe a few more movements here. A little massage. Then come to stillness. And then take knees down to the right. Use your props, which I'm going to do again. A block underneath right leg, another block between the knees, and then left arm extends off to the left side. Yes, very comfortable here. Three more breaths. Staying here longer if you'd like more time on this side. Or when you feel complete, come back to center. Do a quick check-in. Notice how you're feeling. And then extend your legs out onto the floor in front of you, arms resting down by your side so you can move into Shavasana, our final relaxation position. Another assessment here. Check in. If this does not feel quite comfortable, like it's most of the time does, maybe you need a little extra support. Use a blanket or a pillow underneath you, underneath your head, underneath bent knees. Maybe lying down is not comfortable today. Maybe you would rather lie on your side or even come up to a seated position, sitting up against a wall or up in a chair. Do what's right and best for you. Feel free to keep your eyes opened, just gazing upward past the ceiling, or feel free to close your eyes and continue your meditative journey inside. Remember, you're welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Even as I end the practice, you're welcome to stay right here in Shavasana. And when you are ready to move, start with 5 slow, deep breaths. Let that be the first movement in your body. Breath. And allowing that breath to generate movement throughout the rest of your body. Take your time. Then sometime after your 5th breath, please take your time with all of this. And you feel like your body is ready to move. Just roll onto either side of your body into a nurturing pose. And gently and slowly press yourself up so you can come to a seated position. Maybe sitting on your blanket or pillow. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthen spine, nice relaxed shoulders. Just roll them back and down the back. Arms are resting down by your side, hands in your lap. Then take a deep breath or two. And when you're ready to move, inhale, extend both arms up into the air. Nice reach and stretch, maybe look up. Exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Find stillness and take another breath. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste.